Thanks for joining us for the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade here in Coon Rapids. We are coming to you today from Northdale Boulevard, which of course is the site of this parade each and every year. It's been going on now for about 7 or 8 years, and we're so happy you could join us today. I'm Steve Erickson along with Stephanie Ring here to bring you all the action of tonight's parade.
It's going to be great, although it's a little interesting when it comes to the weather tonight. It's overcast. It was just spitting a little bit of rain earlier. We hope that the rain holds off. Some people are even in blankets. Steve, of course, is in short sleeves, but I could use a blanket, but I'll get through it.
That's typical at work, too. You know, short sleeve steps, long sleeve sweater, coat. But it is a beautiful night out here for a parade. It's about 68 degrees, like we said, and a week ago at this time, you'll recall, was in the upper 90s, so what a difference a week can make here in Minnesota.
Big difference. As
we do know very well. Today we are coming to you, like we said, from Northdale Boulevard. This is where the parade is each and every year, and I think it gets bigger every year. Lots of folks out here today lining the streets for this parade. Definitely,
and they come an hour ahead of time. The traffic starts piling up. So people come every year to see if there's new things or just to see the same things that have been here every year, just because it's fun and it really kicks off the 4th of July holiday.
And they like a lot of the old, too, and it keeps drawing them back each year. Well, there is lots of stuff going on down here this weekend. Things kicked off on Saturday with a car show, and there were lots of unique cars down at Sand Creek Park for this event. We captured some of them here, and as you can tell, lots of old cars, 38 olds, 67 Chevys. Look at those engines. Just obviously a lot of people enjoy restoring these vehicles, and it is a place where they can come down, show off all their hard work and dedication to their vehicles. Everyone did have to register for this event. There was several hundred cars, I'm told, which is huge. I know Paul Brand from AM 1500 did his radio show from the park that day, so that was pretty cool for people. They got a dash plaque and a free t-shirt for getting involved in that, so it was a great time, and they even had a grand prize trip, 4-day trip to Vegas for those involved, so they had a drawing for that. So
cool.
Lots of people out there for that event.
Awesome. Then yesterday was Family Day at Sand Creek Park. There were police demonstrations, canine demonstrations, and there was also a first-time event from the Coon Rapids Youth First group where there was just some awesome display of talent at the skate park. And it was really neat to see skateboarders come out. They were displaying their talent. They could be on skateboards or on rollerblades. They were doing flips. Look at that.
That is awesome.
I can't believe he landed on 2 feet. But that was just awesome. A good, fun activity for kids to participate in. A lot of parents watching on as well. And kids could win prizes, and spectators could also win prizes. So it was just a really great time to appreciate the sport as well, because there's a lot more kids getting involved in skating and skateboarding, and it's great that there's a park now for them where they can display their talents. So that was awesome.
Something good to do, a good way to pass the time down at Sand Creek Park there. So that brings us to tonight, Monday night, for the big old parade, and we're expecting dozens of units here tonight. And we're going to head down to Karen Savanich now, who joins us street side. And how are things going down there today, Karen?
Hello, Steve and Steph. Things are going great down here. There's people, as you can see, everywhere. I was just figuring out this is my 8th parade, so I'm pleased to be here. I'm looking forward to it tonight, as well as I know you are. I do have a guest with me I wanted to introduce. This is George Plew. Now, he is in charge of the parade, and I'm told that according to our schedule, there's going to be a few more units. How many are you expecting total, George?
104, I believe, that unless someone cancels. We had the Blaine Bangalettes, I think, cancel out, but we had 2 enter, so it's going to be probably close to 104.
And I know you're excited about this year's Grand Marshal. Who is it, and why are you happy about it?
Well, our Grand Marshal is Terry Hedberg. He was the president of our Lions Club this last year. He put so many hours into this and into the car show and our family day, plus the fact that he goes to every meeting that the Lions have, and so he has a hectic schedule, and he's probably relieved that his term is over. But he represents what we feel the service organizations do as volunteers in the community, and we just wanted to pick one individual to represent all, and this would include our police and our firemen, which we're very proud of.
You're expecting some great things tonight here from the parade. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, I think, to me, they're going to be coming around handing out flags for all the people on the parade route on both sides, and hopefully they'll be down here to where they'll stay in front of the parade, so that as they come by, people can show their patriotism by flying the flag. This is through the courtesy actually of the American Legion, they helped us purchase the flags, and I think we have some 4,000 that we're going to be handing out. Youth First is helping us hand them out. Keith Howard helped direct that, and so we're excited about that. I love parades, I love flags, and well, obviously, you know, we have Lion flags here this year too. So, but that's what we're excited about, and the fact that that we haven't had any that have canceled, other than the one. And even though it's a little bit dismal, we still have a lot of people that came for it, and we have a lot of people on our parade route.
It's a beautiful evening. We're looking forward to the parade. Thank you, George. Steve, Steph, I don't know what you're looking forward to, but I think the flags sound like a really great idea, don't you?
Definitely. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, I think a lot of people will put those out actually for the weekend. I'm not sure how big they might be, but some people like to stick those on their lawn and do things like that.
And
so
for the kids, I'm assuming it's the candy tonight, as usual, and we'll try to get some, and we will have all the parade action for you coming up right after this break. Stay with us for the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade here on Northdale Boulevard.
It was called the greatest generation any society has ever produced. They were ordinary people who half a century ago did nothing less than help save the world. Millions served in uniform, millions more served at home, and nearly 500,000 gave their lives. And yet there is no national memorial to honor their sacrifice. It is time to say thank you.
Call now and help build the National World War II Memorial.
I'm made of skin and bones.
I'm made of muscle.
Eyes, nose, my imagination.
Forgiveness.
All I think and all I feel.
I'm made of skin and bones.
What's inside me? Love.
Honesty. And truth.
I give you love and hope.
We are made of many things. Every piece is special. Please help prevent child abuse.
I am strong.
Powerful.
So what are you made of?
watching the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade on Northdale Boulevard. Look at the crowd lined up on both sides of the street. It really is a nice night to be out here.
It is a beautiful night on all accounts for myself. It is nice and cool. The sun is not beating down on us, so it's not too hot up here. The bugs aren't too bad either.
No, they're not. I thought they'd be worse, but so far so good, so we'll see.
Yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was kind of nervous. It was raining out, and I thought it might rain on this parade, but after all, it turned out to be a nice day.
Not too bad.
And we do have a little bit of the parade approaching us now, as you can see behind us. This would be the Coon Rapids Police Reserve, just passing your screen there, leading the front of the parade. They have started and led the parade since its beginning, and the Lions say they owe them a sincere thanks. Of course, the police and reserves clear the parade route just prior to the beginning of the parade.
Anoka County Sheriff's car there.
This is the American Legion Color Guard following the Minnesota State Police. The American Legion Color Guard is Auxiliary 334. The Color Guard has participated in the Lions Parade for many years now, and they've won numerous awards in the many parades they have been in.
I believe we're going to go down to Karen Savanish now, who's with a special guest, Terry Hedberg. Karen?
Hello, check out this wonderful ride I'm in. This is the vehicle for Terry Hedberg. He's the Lions Club president that just retired from that position. Now he's the Grand Marshal for today's parade. Hi Terry, how you doing?
Just fine, Karen, how are you?
Good. Can you lean over a little bit so we can see you?
I'm doing just fine.
Are you having fun?
Oh, great. Just overwhelming, the number of people here. Just unreal.
It's great. I got to run. We'll see you later. Have fun. See you at the park. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Karen. Coming up next is the Coon Rapids Marching Cardinals. Of course, is the Coon Rapids High School Marching Band. And nothing like a parade without a band. Got to have a few of these in there.
You do. I think it's really one of the favorite parts for most people. And as my father-in-law would say, you never talk during the bands.
That's true. They got to play for us, though.
That's true.
There you have it, the Coon Rapids High School Marching Band leaving your screen.
They did a great job, and they kind of got out of that static, straight formation, kind of doing some turns and twists there. That was kind of cool.
Kind of grooving down there. Speaking of grooving, we're going to head down to Karen Suvanich, who is standing by with a guest.
My guest tells me she's having a good time. Oh, what was that?
Remember how hot it was last year during the parade?
It sure was. Now tell me, you ran out of candy already?
Oh, within 3 blocks we were out.
I guess that speaks to the number of people at this year's parade. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. There certainly are a lot of people here today, and most of them enjoying the cool weather. I see a lot of people bundled up in coats and blankets, but they're having a good time.
It's probably better than it being so hot that you just can't hardly stand it and you're sweating, and it's better for the performers too. They don't get quite so hot either.
Exactly.
Behind the mayor, it looks like we have the county commissioners, Dave McCauley and Dan Earhart.
This actually looks like it's the Lions Club president, Gail Madsen.
Oh.
You're looking at there for 2001-2002. He is the new Lions Club president, so just joining that club as the president this year. Now we have the county commissioners.
There they are.
There is County Commissioner Dan Earhart, who serves a good portion of Coon Rapids. And behind him we have Dave McCauley, who we'll see momentarily. Of course, the husband of the mayor of Coon Rapids, Lonnie McCauley. Dave serves a portion of Coon Rapids as well as the Anoka County Commissioner.
I checked it out. His box of candy looks pretty full, so we're safe.
He lucked out then. We have the Coon Rapids Lioness Club here. Coon Rapids Lioness members will have been walking and riding in this parade. They're throwing candy to children on sidelines. They say the kids really wait for them to throw candy, and they enjoy giving it out. Have a noisy bunch coming up here.
I think we have the city council members riding on these fire engines.
Or at least some of their family, or firefighters' families. Of course, one of the Jeeps there that's used to assist in fighting grass fires, being pulled by the Zodiac boat, which helps with river rescues and other water emergencies in the city. And then my favorite, the bread truck, is behind that. It's a support vehicle that helps the fire department. And one of the fire engines right behind that. Coming up behind that, we have the Lino Lakes Lioness Clowns. Can't have a parade without clowns.
No, you can't. You definitely see a lot of those on the parade route. I think we're going to throw it down to Karen now, who's standing by with Jim and Patty Sathras, who own a 38 Olds. Karen.
They sure do. They're from Coon Rapids. They have this beautiful pink car. She tells me it's a 38 Olds. Jim and Patty Sather. And your grandson's name?
Jesse?
Jesse. Are you guys having fun so far?
Yes, we are.
And were you part of the group on Saturday then?
Sure.
How was it?
It was wonderful. Terry did a wonderful job.
Terry Hedberg, that's another vouch for Terry. All right. Cool car. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Back up to you guys.
Got the tally count going up on him so far. Everything sounds good. Thank you, Karen. You can see a lot of those old cars coming up now.
I believe all of these were at the show on Saturday, and we previewed that earlier in the parade. I believe they had 400 cars there, or they were expecting 400 cars.
Which is kind of surprising that they could fit that many vehicles down at Sand Creek Park, but they must have done it somehow, and you just look at them, and of course the owners of these vehicles take mighty good care of them and like to show them off, I'm sure, when they can.
I don't see a speck of dirt or a scratch or anything on these cars from up here, and I bet if you got close you wouldn't see anything either.
And I bet if it was raining tonight we wouldn't see any of these.
They might not want them out in the rain, but I don't know.
Probably not. I believe this is a Grossline beverage truck coming up here. This is from way back in 1916. A.E. Grossline Sr. started a small distributing business in Fridley, Minnesota. He distributed soft drinks and near beer at the time the country was dry. He was during Prohibition. Beer came back in April of 1933.
Look, Steve, it's a truck from Hormel Foods.
Hormel, the home of Spam.
Spam. Do you eat Spam, Steve?
Don't eat Spam, Steph.
Me neither. But I know they've done like carving contests with Spam, and they do cooking contests, and I didn't think you could cook Spam so many ways.
Yeah, they seem to be able to do a lot of things with it. I guess we're a little ahead of ourselves. This is a Grossland beverage truck coming up here. The truck was actually refurbished in 1989 by the son of A.E. Grossline Sr., and it's now part of many parades. Think they got any good on board that truck?
Well, I don't know. I'll take a peek when they drive by.
We're going to head back to Karen now, who's standing by with some of the spectators. Karen.
Steve, they tell me they're big fans of yours. In fact, what's your favorite station?
CTN!
They knew that. I didn't have to tell them. It's amazing. You guys having fun so far?
Yeah.
You two look an awful lot alike. Like, you're twins. I knew that. And your sisters, all right. Everybody's having a great time. We've all been down year after year. Right?
Yeah.
All right. And we're all going to the park afterwards. Back up to you guys.
None of that was staged at all, Karen. Thank you very much. A small kid in attendance there, some bigger kids. Got to have something else to do while you're kind of waiting in between some of these units to come down here. So
I think that little girl was hitting the candy already. I think her lips look a little blue. Must have been good.
can't blame them whatsoever. And that kid's tongue was a little green there. Well, we want to tell you we do have some programming on CTN that we want to tell you about. Of course, if you want to find out what's happening in your city as far as local events, government happenings, you name it, we have it on CR News every Friday night at 7 p.m. Join Karen Savanich and myself for that program. And of course, can't forget Stephanie Ring. And we will bring you the news that you can use here in Coon Rapids every Friday at 7 o'clock. Looks like we got a dance group coming up. This is the Fancy Dancin' Dancers. The dance studio is located here in Coon Rapids in the Northdale Center next to Jensen's Foods. They have taken first place national many times, it looks like, here. So they are coming up right now.
Hopefully they'll perform right in front of our cameras.
There you have it, the Fancy Dancin' duo there. Coming up, we have the mascot from Raghead Sportswear, which is located in Coon Rapids. They do all sorts of printing.
Screen printing, embroidery for schools, teams, and businesses in the area. Watching the Coon Rapids High School dance team now. The Coon Rapids Cadets are coached by Julie and Jody. Now we have the Coon Rapids Junior Royalty. The members are ages 5 through 7, Petite Queen Allison Rudd, Petite Commodore Jordan LePage, Petite Princess Jennifer Rathsack, Petite Princess Brianna Paul. Junior members are ages 8 through 12. Junior Queen is Brittany Paul. Junior Princess Janessa Voss. Teen members are 13 to 17, Carrie Tom, Julie Witt, and McQuette Burmeister is there, who is Miss Coon Rapids.
Who actually just recently competed in the last few weeks for Miss Minnesota, and she placed 4th runner-up. So that was her goal. She said she was happy to be in the top 4 or 5, so she achieved what she wanted to, apparently.
That's great. Takes a lot of work just to get to be that top 10 or top 5, so that's awesome.
It definitely is. This kid's got a bag there. You think he's waiting to get a whole bag load of candy?
He's waiting for the loot. I think we're going to head down to Karen Savanich now, who's standing by with Anoka County Sheriff Larry Padani. Karen?
Not actually standing, actually riding. I'm hoping I can get a few more rides before the parade is out. This is Myrna and Larry Podani. Of course, Larry is our sheriff here in Anoka County. And this is an awesome car, wouldn't you agree? You guys having fun?
Pardon me?
You having fun?
Well, just a blast.
And this is perfect weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Hey, Sheriff.
Try to control your excitement as I go by, will you guys?
They love this man. They love this man.
How are you? They love the car. That's what they love. You know that. This is Coon Rapids is one of the best parades. Our kids grew up in the neighborhood here, so it's just terrific. So we really enjoyed coming out to this one this site too. So.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Hey, Karen,
what does you guys?
What does a sheriff give away? I want to know.
You know, I think he ran out of candy a few blocks ago as well.
Oh no!
But he did offer a ride, so
hey,
I took him up on it.
Take what you can get, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, Anoka County Sheriff's represented by Larry Padani and also by Chief Deputy Bruce Anderson.
Now we have the Animal In Drill Team. They are an obedience school. They're based in Lake Elmo and Egan. They're going to give us a little demonstration here with their dogs. This drill team travels to several parades around the Twin Cities area. These are volunteers who choose to show their skills with their dogs at different community events. They're all handler trained. And most of the dogs have been through at least a couple obedience classes. Some of them have probably gone through more.
You've actually been through obedience class. I mean, your dog, right?
I have. I have to give a little applause to this school. We've definitely gone to about 4 or 5 classes here, and my dog has learned a lot. Let me tell you, he's a much better dog.
Do I understand your dog's actually going to be a star this fall?
He is going to be on what is it called? America's Funniest Animals or the Planet's Funniest Animals. So yeah.
What's
he's going to be
do?
a star. He's playing with a slinky, and he's showing off for the camera.
Who showed him that?
No
Your husband
comment.
or yourself? Who taught him that?
No comment. Thanks.
I'm actually surprised that you're not down in this group with your dog tonight.
They asked me to be a part of it, but it's kind of a lot of traveling, kind of a lot of time to put in, and so we declined for now. There's always next year.
You're right, there is, and I wouldn't be surprised if you join the group next year. It's actually a nice night for animals out here, too.
It's a lot better for the dogs. My dog would be dying if it was 95 degrees and humid out.
Coming up next, it's the Boy Scouts. Troop 415 is sponsored by the Coon Rapids Lions Club. Troop 317 is sponsored by the American Legion Post 334. Of course, many kids involved in Boy Scouts, and we're actually going to head down to Karen now, who's standing by with one of the leaders. Karen?
I am. I don't know if you guys can see the flag coming up. Scott Johnson is with me. He's in charge of this outfit, right? Or partially in charge?
Well, I was put in charge around the corner when we first started.
How big's your flag?
It's somewhere around between 12 to 15 feet.
And how many people marching with you today?
Somewhere around 50. Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, both.
All right. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of the parade.
That is pretty cool, carrying that flag.
It's huge.
Looks like one that would fly above Perkins. They usually have those huge flags.
I think that one's bigger. What do you think?
Maybe a little bigger.
Yeah. Coming up behind the Boy Scouts, we have the 934th Airlift Wing of the U.S. Air Force Reserves. Through 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, and the Cold War, and Desert Storm, the United States has preserved the peace and helped defend democracy through air superiority.
Of course, this is what Independence Day is all about, and we're going to head down to Karen, who's standing by in a Hummer now. Karen?
I'm sitting again. Sorry, Steve.
You got the job tonight.
You know, this just looked like a cool vehicle. I wanted to catch a quick ride. These folks are being a real good sport for letting me do it. What was your name?
Donna.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Wave to the audience, all right? Okay, I'll let you go. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. It's a really neat vehicle there.
I always wondered what it would be like to drive those. They're big, they're wider. The tires themselves are just huge.
Hopefully, for our sake, we will never find out.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool for
Especially
maybe
with that
10
big
minutes.
gun on top of it. See, it looks like they brought some of their family along tonight. Well,
Look, Steve.
Stephanie, I thought I'd seen everything, but look what's coming up now. Someone is trying to ride, or should I say attempting to ride, some sort of contraption.
Who is it?
You know, I'm not quite sure. He's having a heck of time with it. He's trying to get that thing to go in the right direction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Patches the Clown from Isanti, Minnesota.
Wow. I'd like to see you ride that.
Yeah, looks pretty tricky. He hit something, apparently.
A few times.
The bike is definitely in for an alignment. You wouldn't see me on that. I wouldn't want to get dressed in that outfit either.
No.
Wouldn't go out in public. Looks like we have some folks pushing some of the representatives. Let's see, this is a state senator, Barb Winfield. Of course, just fresh from a special session. They've had a few days now to rest up after their marathon finish.
They might actually want a little vacation break after all that, too, I'm thinking.
Yeah. And nobody's heckling or anything, so everything, they must have got what they wanted out of the session, even though it was a month longer than it should have been.
I think so. We now have the Coon Rapids VFW. Post 9625, Commander Vern Sherrick and Auxiliary President Mary Hawkins. They have been contributors to the Coon Rapids Scholarship Program.
They are the largest one, apparently, the largest contributor.
Giving back to the community.
And of course, we're very grateful in the city for the VFW, the clubs that we have, like the Lions. They do a lot of fundraising, or get a lot of money and hand it over to a lot of the good causes here in the city. We have the Minneapolis Aquatennial coming up here. This is Annie Semengal,
The 2001 Minneapolis Aquatennial Princess.
the Minneapolis Aquatennial. It's the 10 best days of summer. Creates wonderful memories for people of all ages. Of course, they have the Grand Day and the Torchlight Parades, and that is actually July 13th through the 22nd.
And it looks like this is one of the Minneapolis Aqua Jesters. They have been the official clowns of the Minneapolis Aquatennial, and the group has been in existence for 50 years. They appear in many parades. They also visit hospitals and make appearances at other nonprofit events.
As you can see, folks are still bundled up along the side of the parade. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade here from Northdale Boulevard. I'm Steve Erickson along with Stephanie Ring, and it's been great so far. We've had several dozen units so far, and we have several dozen more to come.
Definitely. And I think everyone is hanging in there. They're really enjoying this weather. I think it's been a benefit versus something that was just much more hot and humid like last week. It's kind of welcoming, I
Yeah.
think, after that long stretch that we had. But hey, it's summer.
It's nice that it was today, and looks like we have some more clowns along the parade route here. Clowning around. Must be from the Aqua Jesters. And that is One Big Shoe. I think the girl could fit in the shoe, actually, her whole body.
I think so.
But of course, the clowns have a good time clowning around with the kids. And I understand that one of our own is clowning around with the clown right now. Karen, tell us a little bit
Imagine
more about that. Yeah.
This is Christo the Clown with the Aqua Jesters. How you doing?
Just fine, thank you.
All right, cool car. Thanks for the ride. There's some more clowns behind me. Back to you guys.
All right, looks like she needs a haircut. Thanks, Karen. She
Karen's
keeps sitting
got-
down for all these
She's
things.
got the gig tonight, I'm telling you. She's riding in all the cool cars and just hanging out.
And we got stuck up here on top of the truck.
We're getting candy, though. We even got a shirt thrown at us. It almost hit you in the head.
I didn't know where that came from, but these kids seemed to think it was there, so
They
they
thought it
wound
was-
up with it.
Yeah, they thought it was funny.
I don't know. And we got another group coming up here. It's the Solid Rock Singers. Solid Rock Singers are an enthusiastic and inspirational youth music ministry from Coon Rapids United Methodist Church. Solid Rock Singers are committed to Christ, His church, the choir, and to each other throughout their ministry of music. Their goal is to share their faith with others and grow in faith as individuals, as a choir, as a church, and a community.
We now have the Mississippi Service Unit of Girl Scouts. They are part of the Greater Minneapolis Girl Scout Council. They have over 400 girls and over 45 individual troops. The girls range in age from kindergarten to 12th grade. Girl Scouts, of course, involving different programs and helping girls with self-esteem, leadership, and various activities in the community.
They have a nice arch bouquet of balloons there, pretty colorful. Coming up next, we have some units from the Anoka County Sheriff's Department. And we saw Sheriff Larry Padani earlier. There is Bruce Anderson, who is the chief deputy, I believe, of Anoka County. Confirmation right there on my screen. Riding in one of their boats that they use to patrol the waters, I'm sure, to keep them safe for everyone in the county. And he's come prepared with some candy. It's the Metro Marines on your screen now, the color guard and 510 Marine Corps truck with banners, music, and Metro Marine riders and color guard. And that is one big truck. Probably want to drive that too.
Huge. I don't know if I could.
I imagine you need a special license for that or something.
I think some special training is necessary.
Coming up next, we have Congressman Bill Luther.
And apparently, some people with him are handing out Viking football schedules. That's what they told us anyways. Must
Boy,
be a diehard fan.
You know summer's coming to an end if we're already talking Vikings.
I don't want to think about it, honestly. I don't want summer to go that fast.
But you know, I bet you they open up training camp, or actually their preseason coming up here in a month or so.
Look, as far as you can see, there are just people, the crowd, just lining up on the street.
You know, it looks like when you look down the street at the State Fair on some of those roadways, just
It
people
does.
lined, a sea of people. We have that here at this parade tonight. There's some of the Columbia Heights royalty now.
Actually, I think this is Mrs. Anoka County International, if I was reading her banner correctly. Yes.
You are correct.
Tammy
Coleman.
Coleman.
Did we decide if she was in competition this past weekend?
I think that was a different pageant, Steve. I think the international is different than
the regular Mrs. Minnesota?
Yes, there's different entities, and I think this is not the same.
Too many. We have a Girl Scout troop coming up. Speaking of many, lots of kids here. This is the Sand Creek Girl Scouts, and the Girl Scouts is part of the Girl Scouts of America. Probably don't have to go into what they do. A lot of people in the community have probably been involved in this group or know someone or have kids that are involved in this group. We're going to head down to Karen now, who has standing by with someone who probably can tell us more. Karen?
Hey, this is Dave Axelson. Tell us about your float.
The Girl Scouts built an excellent float here. They're just having a good time throwing out candy and riding along, enjoying the parade.
Your troop number again?
252 with the Girl Scouts.
And this guy actually picked me out instead. He said, hey, that's Karen from Conversation, so we know somebody's watching.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Thank you. I enjoy your show.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Karen, very much. And, of course, Conversations can be seen on our channel.
We like to hear that
Daily.
people are watching. We are here for the community, and we want them to watch our programming, so we hope they enjoy it.
That's good. Brownie Troop 233 is in that float that we just saw. Coming up next, it's Boyer Ford Trucks. Who are these folks? Is Dassel Red Rooster Days, maybe? I'm not quite sure. No, maybe some more of the brownies.
Looks like more brownies.
They've got to ride in a truck instead of the float.
Yeah.
Coming up next, it's McDonald's, and who else would represent McDonald's than Ronald McDonald himself? Apparently, Ronald told Karen that that item you just saw there is supersized. So.
Yeah, and I think, what, 59 cents or whatever to supersize it? That's a good deal. I think this is royalty from Foley.
Yes, it is. This is Miss Foley Fun Days float from the city of Foley. Foley Fun Days was held June 15th through the 20th, so you've missed it, but of course there is always next year. 3 new royalty were crowned June 17th. The float represents the Foley community with its clock tower that you see there on your screen, the colors, the beautiful flowers, and the theme, One Moment in Time. Apparently, Karen has hitched another ride. Karen, tell us about this one.
I have. You guys can keep going, by the way. This is Lou and Steve. They're with Ham Lake Fire Department. I just thought I would look cool riding on the side of the truck, so I thought I would hop up and give it a shot. Back up to you guys.
You know, my son would be very jealous of that right
He
now.
likes fire trucks, doesn't he?
Oh, he's enthralled. That's all he did the one day at City Hall. And see a fire truck, he's there.
I think it's the noise, the lights, everything really gets their attention.
Something.
Some interesting stats about this engine. It cost $200,000 and they got it in 1999. The tank capacity on there is 1,000 gallons. It's pretty big. It can help put out a fire when it's needed.
Of course, that is what it's designed to do. Coming up next, we have the Isanti Royalty riding in a convertible. Good night to have the top down. Miss Isanti 2000-2001 is Crystal Shackleton. There are a few princesses on board that as well. Got the wave thing going there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little child there, and there's
Are
Karen.
we going down to Karen?
We are. This is the Lundeen family from Coon Rapids. Mind blank all of a sudden. Beverly, Kim, Bridget, and Callie. You guys having fun?
Yes, we are.
And you're from Coon Rapids. Do you come every year?
Yes, we do.
Oh, how old's your baby?
1 year old. She just
And
turned
the other one?
She'll be 3 in 20 days.
Precious family. You guys going down to the park afterwards, I hope.
Yes, we will.
Okay, we'll see you there. Back up to you guys.
Cute. Just hanging out, watching the parade. Gotta love that.
And like we said, couldn't have asked for a better night for it. The First Baptist
Church of Coon Rapids. They're located on Foley Boulevard. They invite people to come worship with them. They're excited about their preschool and their youth group that apparently is involved in many different activities in the community.
Coming up behind them, it's KinderCare from KinderCare Learning Centers. KinderCare Learning Centers are here today from Hanson and the 121st and the University Avenue location. They're both nationally accredited centers, and they have a fun summer program going on now. Apparently, if you mention you saw them, you'll receive free registration, which is a $65 value.
Hey, not only do you get to watch the parade, if you need some daycare, you can get a deal. Not
I don't know what
bad.
you get if you tell them you heard it on CTN on the parade. There's probably the best way to get down the parade route, being pulled on a wagon. That's actually the only thing we haven't seen Karen on tonight so far is a wagon. But there's still more to come.
Yeah, there might be that opportunity.
It looks like they're handing out stickers or something there. Maybe they are from, looks like they're from Luther. Coming up next, we have Northeast State Bank in your screen there. One of the many choices for banking, I'm sure, here in the Twin Cities area.
Karen is standing by now with a representative from the Northern Lights Greyhound Adoption Group. Karen?
This is Roger Barr, and he wants to tell me about Jenny, this beautiful dog he's got in tow. She's available for adoption, right?
Her racing name was Bada Bang. We call her Jenny. She's been in a couple of foster homes, which we try to do to get dogs familiar with household situations, stairs and windows and mirrors, which they're not familiar with. And once we've allowed them to be fostered adequately, we then find homes for them.
Excellent. Again, the group is Northern Lights Greyhound Adoption. Thank you, Roger. Back up to you guys.
I would have thought the milk bones that they fed these dogs were a little bit bigger, but they're actually pretty small.
Yeah, I don't know. That one just didn't want that treat at that time. Just for our viewers, too, just to let them know, we're working on a story with this organization so people can learn a little bit more about how they can adopt a greyhound if they wish, because a lot of people are interested in it, particularly because once greyhounds are done racing, they don't always find good homes. So this group is trying to help with that.
It's very interesting. And we'll look for more from you in the coming year.
We will have a report shortly.
Some folks sitting on the back of a trailer here on some hay. Looks like there's even a dog on board. He's part of the Greyhound group, maybe? For the ones that don't want to get down and walk, there's always a different mode of transportation. For both the dogs and the people.
Definitely.
Coming up next, we have the Albertville Friendly City Days float. Albertville started their program in 1976 with their bicentennial. Red, white, and gold float represents their days. Their celebration is held the second weekend in June, so you missed that. But, of course, many other celebrations you can go to in the Twin Cities. In case you don't know, Albertville is 40 miles west of Minneapolis on 94. They welcome you to come join the fun and friendship in Albertville.
Of course, Albertville now has the Outlet Mall. Don't know if you've been there. Fabulous place.
I've been there, and I believe that they've actually done different stores. They had an addition there recently.
Yep, they opened a whole new section, a whole new wing. It has Old Navy Outlet, Bath & Body, all kinds of great stores. So it's a fun place to shop. We now see the Accordion Fun Club. They're a group of amateur musicians who drag out their accordions out of the closet to entertain at nursing homes and senior functions. Again, they play at different functions, parades, anywhere really that people want to hear some good old accordion music, polkas, good songs like that.
And they do a good job.
This is the Walker Plaza van, senior retirement building in the Anoka area. It has independent apartments and assisted living. There are private rooms. Many of them have many amenities. And there's van service, different exercise classes for residents, a beauty salon, a library. And there are residents in the van that are riding in the parade today. I bet they're having a good time riding along.
Nice to get out and about and enjoy the outdoors on a Monday night, which seems pretty different for us here. Usually this parade is held either on a Thursday or Friday, but of course with the 4th falling in the middle of the week, everything's kind of messed up this year. I'm not sure if a lot of people are planning to be home or if a lot of people have taken the whole week off and gone out of town, but
it's a little bit different. Yeah, I think a lot of people have taken some vacation days, it seems like anyways. I think we might be heading down to Karen now, who is with some royalty from the Rockford River Days. Karen?
I am. Tell me about your celebration again.
Well, it's a 2-day festival, and it's Rockford River Days. And we have a celebration in the park. Basically, we have bands, and people come out, and we have a parade, and then we have our coronation Sunday night. And it's just a big festival where we all get together and celebrate the town of Rockford.
That's the second weekend in August, right? Okay, ladies, look to the camera, and we want to see your best parade wave, okay? I know you've been in training for this now. Look right over here. Give us your best wave. Oh, aren't they lovely? Rockford's on the Crow River, by the way. That's why they call it River Days. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Back up to you guys.
So how long does it take them to perfect that?
Long time.
We're going to ask for your wave when we come down there the next time, Karen, so you better practice. Dressed in bright pink. Of course, we're noticing a lot of blue in these floats. Red and white, of course, for Independence Day.
Now you're seeing some orange, bright orange, and I think anyone who owns a home probably spends some time at Home Depot. I don't think there's any way to avoid it.
No, you're right. If there was,
we probably wouldn't go.
Yeah, exactly. For those home improvement projects, Home Depot is one of those places that you can check out.
They've got the perfect little pockets in their aprons for the candy. They've been tossing it out.
That does actually work in handy. They could have stuffed some money in there too, maybe. Money would be a good thing they could start throwing.
I don't see that happening.
They actually brought some of their equipment. We saw one of their trucks you can rent and some other equipment. Looks like they got some lawn tractor coming up here. I think if I gave them my address, they'd just kind of swing by my house, maybe set that down in the yard and mow.
Sure. I know how much you've liked to mow lately.
I could use one of those riding lawnmowers. But they definitely got the ride there tonight. Tub and oh my gosh. We didn't need to see that.
There's the place to be riding.
Obviously, he doesn't realize he's driving down a parade route with thousands of people. I like it. He's got the book and everything.
Everything. He's decked out.
So where does all that go when they flush it?
I'm not
Hopefully
going there.
we won't find out. Coming up next, we have Connie Bernardi, I believe. There's Don Betzel there in the front, you can see, and apparently Connie Bernardi's sign is also on there. I'm not sure if she's walking along the parade route, I'm sure, trying to hand things out to folks. Oh, man. You were looking for new this year. We found it. The Home Depot float.
That was a new entry, wasn't it?
There's Don Beltzel shaking hands with folks along the parade route. You often wonder if this really does get them votes come election time.
I think it does if people can associate a face that they remember from an event. They may have heard about the person in the news or otherwise, but there's something about some personal contact that maybe makes a difference.
You're more or less remembering the handshake, in a sense of
Probably.
this, and the sticker maybe.
For some people, yeah.
We're going to head back down to Karen Savanich now. Karen?
Check it out. I'm with the North Hudson Pepperfest group, and oh my gosh, this float's a rocket. They call it the Pepperfest because they've got a wide variety of peppers down there, lots of Italian food. They tell me it's wonderful, and they sure get into their parade route. I don't know, Steve, I'm waving for you now. I've been practicing. I finally got on a float.
Yeah, you need to keep
Karen, a little
practicing.
more elbow.
More elbow?
More elbow, Karen.
Oh, thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now I think I got it. This group is wonderful. They were doing YMCA a little while ago, so I'll let them have the stage back. Back up to you guys.
All right. Let us know next time. We won't come a knocking.
Hey, that is awesome. They are rocking on that float instead of just, not that there's
sitting
anything
there,
wrong with
yeah.
the traditional, wave, but this is a little bit different.
Kind of get involved in the parade, have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Plus, dancing in heels and a dress is not always the easiest thing to do. So, hey,
Heck, they could wear
multi-talented.
tennis shoes. I wouldn't even be able to tell.
No, I bet you they got heels on.
Of course, if you're interested, the North Pepper Festival is August 17th, 18th, and 19th. Coming up, it's the Anoka County Civil Air Patrol Unit. It's the local squadron of Civil Air Patrol. Their mission is a 3-part cadet program for ages 12 through 21, aerospace education, and search and rescue. They've taken many trophies in the last 5 years for its color guard. Speaking of color guards, we have another band coming up. This is the Forest Lake Junior High Band. Looks like they've got some colorful flags there in their color guard unit.
Very pretty.
Let's take a listen to the parade, or to the band. Forest Lake Junior High School Marching Band. Coming up next, we have the Cardiac Center Wellness Project Screening Van. And that gets good use.
It provides free screening of blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose checks to the public at different Lions events. They've also added glaucoma screening this year. The van just celebrated its 10th year. They've screened over 1,400 people in the year 2000.
That's pretty good. A lot of people get good use of it.
It's a great service.
And of course, that will be down at the 4th of July celebration in Sand Creek Park. Can't imagine what Karen might be up to now, Karen.
I am Inga.
Oh, God.
Actually, this is Lance, and he's leading the way here with the Sons of Norway float. He had a spare wig, so he let me try it on. You guys having fun?
Oh, yes, this is great. Big crowd.
It is a big crowd. See how cool he looks? I had to have it. Back up to you guys.
They better not let you go very far with that thing.
I think it's a good look. She should go totally blonde.
I don't know about that one. What she won't do to get on TV, I don't know. There's some folks riding on that float. The stauber is Norwegian for storehouse and is found on every Norwegian farm. Those riding in the float are wearing traditional folk costumes called bunads.
Bunads.
Is that how you say that? I don't know. Then a Kretchen Lodge welcomes new members who are interested in or descended from all Nordic countries. Sorry, I just slaughtered that name.
I believe this is the royalty from Northeast Minneapolis. Miss Northeast Minneapolis is Abby Cox. Princess Dana Green.
And we have one of the very favorites of this parade, and I'm sure a lot of people look forward to this. It's the Chops Drill Team. All right, Karen, what do you got for us now?
Oh, I just wanted to be part of this group, and they had an extra flag, so I grabbed it. Okay, back up to you.
All right, what is it next? Got an extra clown outfit, you know, an extra bike. I think she's having a good time tonight.
St. Francis Fire Department there. You were going to say it before me.
Hey, that's the way it goes. You talk at the same time. It's one of their engines.
Here's the St. Francis Pioneer Days float with the royalty on board. St. Francis Pioneer Days in the Park is a festival. Their gazebo represents a historical site in the center of the park, if you've ever been up there. It's a nice little area for picnics and other activities.
I haven't, but I should check it out.
My
We have a lot of parks in this area, so it's hard to go somewhere else when you have so many in this community as we do, but nice to get around and check out some of the other facilities in the Twin Cities area. Would be a beautiful night to be in a park tonight. There we have Secretary of State Mary Kiffmeyer, who apparently is doing her V-wave.
What's the V-wave, Steve?
Apparently it's for vote. So
makes sense, I
we can get
guess.
Karen trained in on that one. Of course, the Secretary of State has a huge job overseeing elections.
Now we have the Tom Thumb mascot here, riding on a big Chevy truck.
And what is that the mascot for? Car X. Some sort of bird?
Like the commercials. Don't worry, call the Car X man.
Yeah, very good. Commercials do work.
I'm a sucker for those. I remember the little jingles, but I couldn't be creative enough to write them.
And you do, and we'll be singing this now for the rest of the night, you know.
You'll wake up in the morning, don't worry, call the Car X man.
Looks like we have the Greater Twin Cities St. Bernard Club coming up, and I almost hate to go down to Karen and see what she's doing, but Karen?
I'm behaving myself, really. I'm in the back of the group here with Robbie Hilton. She's got a nice ride here, I tell you, and she told me 7 of these dogs here today are hers. That's quite a number.
Well, yeah, that's quite a few of these big dogs to feed, but we love them. So.
Why do you love them so much?
Just their personality. They're just wonderful dogs. They're very perceptive to people's feelings, and they're just wonderful dogs.
And if you need a keg of brandy carried, they can do that too.
They can do that. The dog that's pulling me today was just down at the weight pulls in Ohio and pulled 3,238.5 pounds.
Wow, interesting.
That's over 1.5 tons. They're pretty cool dogs. So.
Okay. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Nice group. Back to you guys.
All right, he's got his work cut out for him tonight. Thank you, Karen.
That's a lot of weight to pull.
It is. It's a big keg. I thought we'd go down there and see her like riding one of these Menards, and I was going to say, all right, that's a little bit too much. We got a nice bright yellow truck coming up. This is from Jensen Foods. And I also believe that they are pulling a boat. And this is the actual boat from the film Grumpy Old Men.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very unique. Of course, most of that movie shot here in Minnesota. Yeah, this is actually in memory. You can see a sign there. Jack Lemmon just passed away this past about a week ago, within the last week, and Walter Matthau actually died about a year to that date earlier, which is kind of ironic when you think about it.
Yeah, not too far apart, and I think Jack Lemmon was battling cancer, and finally he passed away, so too bad. It was a very, very momentous movie, especially for, was it Winona or Wabasha? I get the two mixed up.
I'm not sure. I know a lot of, we're hearing Wabasha is what we're being told.
I believe that's it. Also famous for the eagles down there. Eagles go down there in the winter. There's open water, and it's really neat to watch them. So the town is famous for a couple things.
Coming up next, we have the royalty from the Fridley 49er days.
The celebration of Fridley 49er Days is from June 14th through the 17th. People can go next year if they want to.
It's over.
Looks like Karen is standing by with some royalty members. Karen?
Yeah, Steph, I'm actually standing this time, you know.
Okay.
Jenna? Gina? And Christine, they're with Montrose Days. They tell me the festival is August 17th through the 19th. They have a parade as well. And just a little side note on the Fridley float, they told me they were going to be at over 40 events this summer. So these girls keep busy. Back up to you guys.
They do. A lot of traveling around by a lot of these units. In fact, some actually request to be in the front of the parade so they can actually go join another parade at the end of it on the same night. So they're kept very busy, as you've already heard tonight. We've more than a dozen celebrations we've probably already talked about. And June, July, August is a very busy time in Minnesota for these outdoor festivals.
Very busy. Looks like we have members from Woodbury Royalty here. Julia Lepisto, Bridget Holes, Jolene Salstrom, and Laura Zundais. We're going to head down to Karen, who's riding on the float. Are you practicing your wave, Karen?
It's Princess Karen Samanich with Princess Laura and Queen Trina. We're from Woodbury, and we invite all of you to come to our festival this year. Back to you guys.
All right. I think she's always wanted to do that.
She's gotten the wave down, I can tell.
It's getting a little better as the night progresses here. Pretty soon we'll see her in one of the Miss Minnesota contests or something. Coming up next, we have the Top Chops, Chopstick, and Hot Chops. All sorts of chop stuff here. They are a big group here. A lot of people, we saw part of them earlier. And this is the brass line, established in 1994 under the direction of professional musician Greg Tyneker. Let's take a listen. They say the Whaling group of 30-plus horn players. Great job, everyone. Getting a round of applause from the audience here. They were the first to do what many thought no one could do, a marching brass ensemble without the accompaniment of percussion. And some more Senator action here. Talking to folks on the sideline, handing out stickers, hoping to either be elected to office or remain in office. People just stick those stickers all over the place. Actually, earlier we saw a kid that had one over his mouth.
Yeah, he did.
That's starting a new trend here. And there we have Representative Luann Koskinen from Coon Rapids.
Here we have residents of the Summit Oaks Apartments. I believe they're also representing Snoopy's on Parade.
Which was that big thing they had last year down in St. Paul. They had 100 or so statues scattered throughout the city, and a lot of folks took interest in that. And
they're now selling the miniature versions, right? You've gotten a couple of them. They're real cute.
yes, actually, correction for my wife. I didn't actually.
Oh, yes.
I don't have a collection of Snoopy. She does. But they are, they're very neat, and a lot of people, I'm sure that saw those Snoopies are actually snatching those up. We have the Hopkins Raspberry Festival, folks, coming up next here. They're celebrating their 67th anniversary, July 15th, 5th through the 15th, actually, and they're on some neat chairs there. Going up and down there, kind of like a balancing act.
Like a seesaw or a teeter-totter. What do you call that?
Glad I'm not on there. My side would just be down. A couple of the prince and princess, the king and queen on board there. The raspberry float portrays the fun of a playground, as you can see there, with the what looks like a teeter-totter almost. The float actually has 3,000 lights on it.
Wow.
Which is impressive. It didn't look like that much.
It's a very nice float.
Looks like folks from Representative Jim Abler coming up. I don't see Jim himself, but
He serves in the health and education areas. He's been a lifelong resident of Anoka and Coon Rapids, and he's been working hard on K-12 funding, which has definitely been an area of concern for the last how many months? It's been going on for a while.
Seems like a long time, been a very hot topic down in St. Paul, and actually will continue to be even after the dust from the session settles.
It will be. I think they have to re-crunch their numbers and figure out exactly what funding they got for each student, although District 11 has had to make some cuts, which are unfortunate, but they have to do what they have to do.
Yep. There's Jim Abler in the crowd shaking hands there. There's Karen apparently maybe trying to get a sticker or handshake, something. You think they must get tired too, having contact with so many people up and down the parade route, and then parade after parade that they go to during the summer.
Here is the Salvation Army. They're located at 10347 Ibis Street Northwest. This emergency canteen is on the scene to help out in any disaster, fire, flood, tornado. They are there to help.
Hopefully they don't have to use it a lot, but I believe they did use it back a couple weeks, a month or so ago for that fire in Blaine, that huge junkyard or tire fire.
That is true. There are a lot of communities helping out with that fire. That big fire truck we saw before from Ham Lake was there too, I believe, with that 1,000 gallons of water that they needed that day. They needed a lot.
And we have some other programming information for you to tell you about if you don't know about it. Karen alluded to it a little bit earlier with one of her folks. She does a program called Conversations, where you meet interesting people from the community, learn all about them in a half-an-hour program. We have 3 people each show, so you can check that out several times a day, every day of the month. We're going to head down to Karen now, who has found her true calling. Karen?
Oh, it's Steve. You guys can keep going, by the way. Bob and Jody are with Ace Solid Waste, and I wanted to ride on the fire truck, so they were good enough to let me do that. By the way, they will be cleaning up the park this weekend, so feel free to eat lots of food, and if you drop a crumb or two, that's okay. They're here to pick it up. Going to be a lot of garbage because it's a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to ride along on the truck here a little ways. I hope you don't mind. Back up to you guys.
Have you tried to look on top of it?
Yeah, how are you?
Thanks, Karen.
You know, it's a very important job that they do. I don't know if I'd want to do it necessarily, but someone has to. You know, after you leave a festival like the one down at Sand Creek, that whole place is just going to be full of trash everywhere.
Yeah, they're cleaning up all the time. I know for like the golf tournament up at Bunker Hills, takes a lot of cleanup. They'll be doing that in Blaine this year, but takes a lot of cleanup there days and days afterwards. So they do have their work cut out for them, and probably don't get the respect they deserve, but
they do deserve
hats
it, though.
off to them.
Exactly.
Looks like we got a big group from Senator Wellstone's office.
Where is Wellstone? I don't see him. Is he walking?
I'm not sure, but I
Is he
believe
handing out
is he
stickers?
running for office again this coming year?
I think he is.
And we're told he is here somewhere.
Oh, there he is.
Of course, if you don't know who Paul Wellstone is, you've been missing TV. 'Cause
you haven't watched the news.
a very outspoken state senator, but has done a good job for the most part, I can say, for the citizens of Minnesota and Washington. And as we're understanding, he was going to try to go for re-election again this year. So, obvious reason why we're seeing him here today in the parade. Giving high fives to the crowd.
We're going to head down to Karen now. I think she may want to try out another new career path, similar but yet in the radio field.
You know, you always wanted to put the face with the personality. Here it is, folks. Chris Hunter from Mix 104. He does middays. This is your first time at our fine parade, isn't it?
The very first time in Coon Rapids, yes. I'm having a blast. Woo, woo!
That was his DJ voice, by the way. Back up to you guys.
Obviously, you need that personality to be on the radio. Thanks a lot. And fairly new, I don't want to say a new station, but their mix of music is
kind of a
fairly new within the past year.
Yeah, new format. A lot of people like the all 80s thing. Some people in our station really like 80s.
I know our producer doesn't, but you know, there is CCO 830. We got some other folks here in the mixed truck. Are they piping out some music? I don't hear anything.
I bet if they are, though, it's Bon Jovi or Def Leppard, because it seems like they play that the most, from what I've heard.
Or Billy Joel.
Oh, Billy Joel's good. Coon Rapids Collision Center here, handing out candy.
Hopefully you don't need their service, but if you do, apparently they're there. There's one of our police officers, Kirby Deck, our bike patrol officer. Usually see him around because he's got headlights on his bike there.
Cool.
He's got to have all that safety down, of course. If you're teaching that to kids and other kids, you got to lead by example.
Definitely. Helmet and everything. Helmet. Very important.
Coming up, we have the bull. Not that kid there, I don't think. I think it's the actual unit that we're seeing here. It's a tow truck from Shorty's. It's actually a heavy-duty towing truck. And there's where we find Karen Savanich. Karen.
Yeah, Melody and Brian Bolander are driving this truck, and they told me it takes a lot of gas, but it's worth it because they love being in this parade. Isn't this a great ride? She's the king and the queen of Shorty's Towing. Back up to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Karen. Obviously, someone slipped something in her coat earlier. I don't know what it is.
Hey, she's having fun. Can't fault her for that.
She is really having fun tonight.
And of course, Shorty's, if you have had bad luck of having your car towed in the city and you have to find out what happened, it's probably Shorty's that has taken your car away. So don't hold it against them. It's just if you broke some of the rules. Yep, they're doing their job. That's what they have to do.
And that's where you'll find your truck or car, hopefully. Got a noisy group coming up again. This is the percussion part of Hot Chops. Mom always wants a copy of everything, doesn't she?
Of course.
I wonder what they're planning to do now. Usually they have some sort of routine. And they usually get a huge ovation and applause from the audience out here.
Hey, there we have some audience members waving. So much fun with their performances that it's just cool to watch them.
Right, they're not just playing, they're having a good time, and the routine seems to be different each time, and like we said, the audience enjoys what they see.
One of the members is talking to the crowd over here. I can't quite hear what he's saying, but
hey now!
here we have Jerry Horn for State Representative in District 49B, trying to connect with some people here, and hopefully they'll get out and vote, passing out stickers.
Coming up next, maybe a float from Robbinsdale, actually South St. Paul. This is royalty from their Kaposia days. Any idea what Kaposia is for?
I don't know. I haven't been to a South St. Paul festival, so.
I was told one year, but I've already forgotten. But go check it out. I'm sure they have a celebration down there. Starting to get darker out. Hopefully the rain holds off if it's going to rain.
I was just going to say, we've been lucky. It hasn't been raining at all, so.
And the bugs aren't that bad. I'm looking at them here. You know, they're flying way overhead, but at least they're not connecting down here. It's a nice night to sit outdoors and enjoy this parade.
Here we have the Coon Rapids Youth Council, Coon Rapids Youth First. They just sponsored that skate park competition we were telling you about earlier that happened on Sunday. They are a youth advisory council made up of middle school students from Northdale, Coon Rapids, Epiphany, and alternative schools. They plan activities in the community. They're a resource for youth and to other members in the city. And I know they were really excited about that skate event that they just had, and they've also held some talent shows and other things. So good activities for teens to get involved in.
And there are several organizations if you're not part of the Coon Rapids. I know Andover has a group, Anoka has a group, and it's just a great way to feel connected to other youth in the community. Looks like we have one of those message vehicles coming up.
It's a Volkswagen with Judy Kinseth.
Leading the way home. I've noticed this with some realtors that have done this, but I've also noticed, she's a real estate specialist in the area, but I've also noticed that they have cars that they actually, you sign up, they pick your name, and if you want to drive this car around town, you get it for free.
Really?
But it's like a billboard.
Oh.
So if you ever see those vehicles around.
So if you don't mind promoting someone or
yeah,
something
I'll take a new
else.
car. I don't really care what's on it.
Not a bad deal.
You know, it really isn't.
Looks like this is the YMCA.
Their slogan is strong communities. Of course, the YMCA at Northtown has been open for many years now. It seems like I just built that thing, but
yeah, time's gone fast.
It's been several years since that's been open, and I understand it's doing very well. They have a lot of programs, I'm sure, during the summer that keep kids occupied and busy and out of trouble.
Definitely. Well,
all right, we had 104.1. The point, gotta have WLOL.
Gotta
their
have
competition.
WLOL.
Of course, WLOL has been on now for several years now with their new format of classic
and
hits.
They have some 80s, right? But then they mix it up with other formats too. It's not like all 80s all the time, like 104.
Yeah.
Look, gotta have a little variety on your dial.
A lot.
Yeah, they do have a lot.
Audio King and Sony's 15. And you can get the Sony Vega TV that's right for you right now. See store for details. Remember, with Vega, you don't just watch TV.
We have Mary T. and Margaret Place, their van coming up, and some folks from that. Margaret Place is celebrating 25 years of serving the community of Coon Rapids and the North Metro area. And clean up here for the parade, we have some members of the Park Reserves for Coon Rapids. Of course, do a great job of helping patrol our parks in the city and make sure everything is on the up and up. And that looks like it's it. Nothing else coming down the streets after that. It was a very interesting parade, lots of stuff, a lot of the same stuff, but we did see several new things this year.
We did. We saw Home Depot, we saw Mix 104, and then of course the favorites, the Top Chops, the Coon Rapids bands, Coon Rapids dance team. So a lot of the favorites that do come out, like you said.
And it has to keep people coming back. I mean, even though they have a lot of the same things, these folks enjoy this parade. I know they were out here for hours before the parade getting a good spot for this event. And you can't blame them because what they saw here tonight was pretty fantastic.
Very good. And like we said, the weather held out. I mean, we were so lucky. I just wasn't sure if it was going to rain on us, but I'm very glad it didn't rain on our parade, as they say.
That's a good thing. I think let's head down to Karen now. Karen, now you did a lot today. You had a lot of activities. You had a lot of fun. What are you going to remember most about this parade?
You know, it's all the people that want to get on TV, like this little guy right here. His name is Brett. He wanted to say hi to his friend. Who's your friend?
Oh, say hi to Casey.
Okay, that was your moment of fame, honey.
And a moment at that.
It's all about people, Steve, our greatest natural resource, and they keep surprising us, as you can tell.
What was the best vehicle that you got to drive on tonight or hang on?
I like the ones that I could actually sit inside the vehicle, so maybe like the clown Jeep, that was kind of fun. It was easy access in and out, you know, it wasn't too cumbersome. Oh, and the Humvee, of course, that was fun too.
I was going to say the Humvee. I know you really wanted to get on that one, so that one looked pretty cool. The fire engine was cool too, but.
Oh yeah, I scored the fire truck, the Shorty's tow truck, you know, they were at my mercy today.
The garbage hauling, that was the best.
That was good.
And I really thought it was nice of them, even though it does take a ton of gas to drive that thing around, that they were good enough to bring it out for the parade.
That's right. And the hat you were wearing, you can't forget that.
You had to remind me, didn't you?
We'll see you buying one of those at some point. But.
Oh, the Sons of Norway, they're always a lot of fun. So
All
yeah,
right.
that was fun.
Well, it's been great. Thanks for your help tonight, Karen. We appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this 4th of July parade and the celebration. Of course, lots of stuff going on at Sand Creek Park, and the big fireworks blast off at 10 p.m. on the 4th of July. So check that out.
Definitely. I think a lot of people will show up for that because it is always a great event. So even though it's in the middle of the week, everyone will go out and have a great time anyways.
That's true. A lot of people at home for that this year. That's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for watching, and we look for you again back here again next year for another 4th of July parade. Thanks.